Hi there, welcome to Sunnyside Journals. Oh, we're missing the S. Hold on. There we go. I'm Catherine. Welcome to 30 minutes of my day. I finally made it up here to my studio. Today, once a week, I cook a week's worth of food for my little dog. She's on a special diet to help prevent pancreatitis. And it means she gets home cooking. So I cook a week's worth at a time, and that way I just have it ready for her. I actually keep an extra week ahead, so I actually cooked today's food for 2 weeks from now. It's just the OCD, worry, wart, anxiety person in me. I worry, what if something comes up and I don't get it cooked? So I'm a couple weeks ahead in my freezer, and I just stay that way. So you're looking at, that's not my desk you're looking at here. It's my book press. I have, even though I haven't turned on my camera, I have got a little bit more work done on Chocolate Mocha. I actually, you know what? I took a couple of days and I curled up on the couch and watched some TV, not the news. Lefty Lucy. Let's go. And it was nice. Not that I don't enjoy being up here, but it was just nice to putter around my little house, and we got, yard work done. And it's that time of year where you're closing down your yard is work as well. So hold on. I was tea dyeing some papers, and there's just no point turning on a camera for tea dyeing papers. I mean, that just is what it is. I just want to get this out of my way, because knowing me, I'm going to bang my shin on it if I lean it somewhere. There, that'll do. So I actually put these in last night. So 9 signatures, nicely pressed now. This is from this front page is from a funny reprint of an old book that I found, Miss Parloa's New Cookbook. Looks like it was put out by Gold Medal Flower at some point, and they simply reprinted the book as it originally showed itself. So it's fun because it looks like the old book, but it's new paper, so it's nice and thick and strong, and it's fun. So I used actually the front page from that book to create the first page for Chocolate Mocha, which is strange calling it that. As if you've been following along, you know, somebody stuck this on this cover. It was not me. It could be Gervais Rémillard. I hope I pronounced that properly, in grade 4. Who knows? It was with the original old spine, which was falling apart. It's a children's arithmetic book, which leads to work I've got to do today, because I want to include a little bit of both. Even though I've got a good portion of the papers, hold on, I have to, pardon me, tickly throat. If I'm coughing today, it's just tickly throat. It's nothing more. So I have already sort of just put little hints of desserts and cookbooks here or there in here. This is Sears Roebuck, the spices and baking powder section. I thought that was kind of fun. But I remembered this morning that this is actually an arithmetic book. So I thought, okay, I know I've got a children's arithmetic book somewhere on my shelf, and I found it. So I thought, you know what, let's just put a couple of pages of arithmetic in it, because I can tell that I'm fine for space. So I can add a couple of arithmetic pages. I don't know how old this book is. Let's take a look and see. 1954. So it's BC, before Catherine. Isn't that cute? All right, so let's just see, first of all, oh, it's that horrible binding. All right, well, this will be interesting for us. Let's watch me rip open this binding. I hate when textbooks are bound like this. Let's take it this way first. This is very common binding in textbooks, at older textbooks, and it just makes for ripping the book apart horrible. You know what? I might leave it together because it's so big. I'm going to have to marry the paper together anyways. So by leaving it intact, it will be easier for me to deal with on my bookshelf. So that's what I have changed my mind and I'm doing. Now, I'd like a page with lots of mathematics and not necessarily lots of color. I would like more black and white than color, which is strange. Usually, okay, that's black and white. Usually you're looking for lots of color. It's fun, but I want to add color to this in other ways. So, oh, that's lots of math there. Oh, I like that one better. All right, we'll do you. So we're just going to go in here and try and get as deeply into the fold as I can. And just cut out pages, because they're going to have to be glued together anyhow. And did I get two? I did. Perfect. All right. So we'll put these together and get them ready. There we go. I just want an even side here. When you cut it with the blade, and of course it's curved because it's trying to close, you don't always get a straight edge. All right, now these are going to be bigger than what I need, so I may still do some more trimming. Here is my template for how big I like my pages for this book. If you've been following along with me, you know that I do that. All right, I am going to take some of the sides off so I can keep as much of that cute interior of this page as possible. This paper for 1954 is in very nice condition. That would be quite suitable for collaging on, or you know, if you want to glue tissue to it, and so you can still see the background through it. So I'm just going to trim a little bit more off these edges. Wait a minute. Let's see how wide that's going to be. Yeah, not worth trimming. I'd rather fold them. Okay, I'm going to leave them that wide. But now I've got to decide, because they are too long. So I usually prefer to keep the top over the bottom. If I've got to trim one way or another, I would rather trim the bottoms of pages off. Sometimes it's nice. There's enough gutters, header and footer on the pages, that if you just trim off the header and footer, you don't have to disturb the pretty stuff in the middle. But that's not going to happen here. But I'm just happy to have some children's mathematics. Yeah, I wonder. Sometimes I look and see if I can, because I don't mind pages that are different sizes. I'm just going to take that whole bottom these math questions right off, because I don't mind and actually enjoy when pages are a different size from each other. There we go. All right, let's glue these together, or tape them together. Sometimes I will use paper, and sometimes I use washi tape. So they already look a little uneven down here, but I'm not going to worry about that because I can trim them once I have them glued together. Where's my other rock? My rocks are missing. Hold on. Here's a rock. There. All right, so some washi. Let's just use washi. Which one? Let's just use that one. We got lots of it, and it's going to be in the gutter anyway, so it won't show. Glue. And then just determining how wide it's going to be lets me know how much glue to put on either side. It's going to be down the center of your book, so don't panic too much. As long as you get the seam filled in. The rest really, when you're using some tape this wide, it's not going to be that noticeable. There we go. Yet another use for your rocks. And then I just trim this off, and they were a little bit off, so I'm just gonna even them up. You can do both sides if you want. I don't find that there's any need for it, especially since I've married them right up. Sometimes if you've torn a page out of a book and it's got an uneven edge, yeah, you need to do the other side. But I am not worried about doing the other side. It should be okay. There we go. Now, even washi tape can still be a bit bulky. So I get in there with my fingernail and really give that a good fold. All right, so that's going to go into one of them. And then I also want to put a couple of doilies in. I only have a few tea-dyed. I need to get to work. But I'll put one tea-dyed, and maybe I'll put one of a regular size. Now, how big? Sometimes I don't want to have to trim too much off. Not you. It's not your day to play. You. Doilies are one of those things where I feel like you could just keep going and going, and they're still doilies. More doilies. That one's pretty. Let's find a way to include that. I used to love when, you know, the ladies would have a shower, baby shower or a bridal shower, and they were just little doilies all over the plates, holding those little tiny finger sandwiches or the little petit fours. I loved that. All right, I'm going to put this aside because I'm going to find a way to include that in either decorating a page or creating a journaling tag. We'll see. All right, so glue back on. All right, let's see where we're going to put the mathematics page in. And I'm going to fold you in half. And Actually, I wish I'd folded you the other way because I'm going to put this one in the center of a signature because it's just so pretty. So let's get you folded this way. There's always a nicer side to paper doilies. There's the one side where the emboss, you know, the positive and the negative. So there's the nice side. So if I put that in the center of a signature and the threads go down there, that's going to look pretty. And this one is just mostly flat because it was soaking in tea. So this one doesn't really matter so much. There we go. And then you, I want to fold in, but I think I'm going to fold it in a bit more, maybe about that much. I still have room. I'm not at the point yet with this book where I'm panicking about bulk. And because I'm going to put tabs down this side, I don't think it's going to be overly lacy. Now, I may use my little thing that I like to do and put a journaling board in it and run some lace down the edge of the journaling board. And that, I've discovered that is a fun way to, let's just feel which one isn't too thick. Because some papers are thick, let me finish one thought. Oh, Catherine. Putting lace on the journaling board is a fun way to still give the illusion of lace down this side. There, finished that thought. Now, what I will do now is, because even though you can have the same number of papers in a signature, they can still be different thicknesses. They're not always the same thickness because sometimes you've used scrapbook paper or cardstock, or maybe you've got a vintage greeting card in there. And for a variety of reasons, they're not always, even though they're the same number of pages, you've been diligent in counting, they're not always the same thickness. So I just like to feel and see who could handle an extra page or two. Yeah, there's a bit of math here. Let's put this math one in right here. There, that's fun. And that gives a little bit of interest. Now, doily. What have I got in the center of my center? So if 9 is the number, then 5 is the center. I usually have something pretty in the center, and I may not want to. Oh, I've got a guest book in the center. All right, then I do want. That's going to look pretty. And when you have guests over, that's when you might use doilies on your buffet table. So, okay, that worked out. That was meant to be. Now, where do I want to put that tiny little one? Oh, see, I have a little invitation to a little, maybe a ladies' social or something like that. Like ladies used to have. Oh, I got an envelope in there, so no, you're not going in there. Number 9, what about you? This is a recipe card. I love this one. Well, I love this recipe. No, I don't want to put, all right, let's go back to the beginning and see where we want to put that tea-dyed doily. Maybe we'll put you in, let's put you right here. There you go. That will look pretty. All right, so that is good. Now, I was working the other day on the tabs. I put one of those little mini videos on Instagram, if you saw it, and I had all these, I have all these ready to go. And I was getting ready to fussy cut them off the page. Let me make sure I've got them all out of here. I was getting ready to fussy cut them off the page because I got them out of this fabulous book that I found in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This big, huge book. the Victorian Book of Cakes. It is stunningly gorgeous. And it has, oh, I'm starting to store some, these are Christmas recipes that I found. It has big, huge pages of petit fours, and they're so pretty. Where's one? Oh, that's marzipan. Oh. I'm gonna use those for wedding cakes. Come on, now of course I can't find a page with petit fours. And there were all kinds of pages. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at that. What I started to cut them out. And then I realized, thank goodness, at the last second, that that particular page of the petit fours, the artist had numbered them. So I thought, oh, 9 signatures. So I have 9, 1 to 9, that are going to be tags. These are stiff enough. I opted not to put them on board or cardstock, because I really think they will be just fine. They're just a little tab. It won't hurt them to not be thick, and that way it still leaves me options for my edges. My edges aren't too bulked up. There's signature number 1, cherry cakes. So like that will go up there. I'm not going to put these on yet, because when you are putting your text block into a curved spine, it's quite common because this side curves to nestle into your curved spine, this side will naturally curve as well. It shifts. So I want to put these on once it's all sewn together, so that I know I have them looking pleasing to the eye. So my little tabs will go on later, probably later today. I'll try and remember to turn on my camera when I do that. Now, another thing I did with this book was, it worked out fortuitously. I was thinking of using these 2 full-size pages as the end papers. And then they actually had an interior page in the book that is the same illustrations, but they were on one page. They were in the book sideways like this on a lovely green page. And I like that even better. So and I got more bang for my buck, because now I can use these in another book somewhere. And I have these for the end papers. I love this book. It was $2. It weighs a ton. We were going on a cruise and we got to Fort Lauderdale a couple days early. And so this actually came on the ship with me. It sailed around the Caribbean. I actually enjoyed it. When I was laying around the pool, I would go up to the pool hugging my big Victorian Book of Cakes. I was tempted to start fussy cutting, and then I thought, no, I don't want to have to deal with things like customs and that. Lady, why do you have this big cut up cake book sort of thing? So anyhow, plus I wanted to be able to, if my suitcase was at the limit of how heavy it is, which happens a lot for me, I figured I could just put the book into my carry-on bag, and then it's not a big deal. All right, I'm wandering off topic. So I have these end papers ready. I want to put the Charlotte Écossais, I think it's Écossais, over here. I haven't finished trimming it to the right size. That's another thing that I do after the text block is in, because I found that sometimes I trim my end papers and then for whatever reason, it's as if it mysteriously grew while I was sewing. And so I do that near the end. And I will be taking it off the lighter sides so that the illustrations are more centered. Now, the only thing I'm sad about with these is for some reason with the illustrations, and I don't know whether these are original illustrations that have been reprinted or else these are illustrations that they made to look old. Do you know what I mean? For some reason, the Charlotte Écossais, the title got put underneath it because these were on the same page. But this one, which apparently is a trifle, I've never made a trifle that looks like that. That's quite amazing. I love trifle. The trifle's title was down here below, below the border that was around the page. So I have it somewhere. I cut the trifle thing out, and I think I will just add it like a little afterthought there, so that hopefully the next owner will know that that's a trifle, because I wouldn't have guessed that that's a trifle. That's just amazing. All right, so you know what I have to do next is, because you get 30 minutes of my day, I have to bundle these together and poke the holes in them. So, hold on. I had a lovely talk with my mom yesterday over this tin that I used to keep my signature sewing gear in. I was sitting here at my desk when we were FaceTiming, and I could see in my picture, my image coming back at me. This was on the shelf behind me, and this was my mom's, so I grabbed it. Every once in a while, I like to see what she can remember and what she doesn't remember. So I grabbed this off, and I said, "Mom, do you remember this?" And she actually did. She said, "I know what that is." And so that warmed my heart that she remembered. And we had a nice long talk, because this was the tin when my mother would make mincemeat tarts for Christmas. The mincemeat tarts always went in the fruit cake can. And so I have wonderful memories of that. My mother, oh, her pastry was so good. So good. She was like me. She was a reluctant good cook. And I say this, I'm not bragging. I'm actually saying it as just a matter of fact. I am a good cook, but it's not my favorite thing to do. And I must have inherited that from my mother, because she was the same way. Very, very good cook, but not her favorite thing to do. And that's me as well. All right, let's see how we're doing here. So let's see if we can at least get one done so you can see how I do this. So what I do when I have my little garden kneeling pad that I got at the dollar store. And then I go through and I make sure that my papers are where I want them, because I use on purpose different sizes of paper. They can shift while you're playing with them. And you'll see here I've got the sewing done that I want done, because you can't fit a signature, or pardon me, an entire text block into your sewing machine underneath. So then I just make sure that they are all together, and I'm just going to eyeball that is centered, because it doesn't really matter if it's not. And then I use I like these big flat paper clips. My Crafty Crush sent them to me. And some people use clips, whatever works for you. Some people don't even clip them together. They're able to work. And then I have my template where I know to put my holes that I've already. So I just marry it up with whatever's the widest. I write top at the top of mine because sometimes your measuring is off. I grab an awl. I have several awls. This is the one I've got. Now, because this is centered, I'm actually going to poke that one through first. And then I'm going to put a pin through to hold it. And then I finish the others. I flip it over, and I forget who, I think it was Clemmy from Clemmy's Designs. Is that? Oh, hello you. She, dismiss. She pokes the holes in her signatures this way. Everyone's different and pokes their signatures this way. And I thought, wow, it was just a whole lot easier than the way I had been doing it. And see how that pin now holds that doily in place until I go to sew it. And then all my little holes are in place. And I'll go through all of these and do them this way. It used to be, I tried a cradle. I've tried all kinds of, I've tried laying them flat and just going down the line. And for me, this works better. So let's just do this one more, and then I have to turn off my camera because if I don't turn it off, my phone will turn me off. There we go. All right, so big fat paper clips in place. There we go. A template for where my holes are going to be. Oh, in case you're wondering, I already have that part of it ready. If you're wondering, I always get questions of, can you show us how you do it? I always will encourage you, please go over to Nick the Booksmith, take her Hollowback bookbinding course. She teaches it better than I ever could, and it's not very expensive, and there's a place where you can ask questions. You can go back over and over and over, and it's a marvelous thing that she has put together that is better than anything I could do as far as teaching how to sew in signatures and put a book together. All right, I'm going to finish this stack on my own. There's no need watching me do this, and I'm at 32 minutes, so my phone's going to cut me off. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'm going to try and do the same thing. Take care, everyone. We'll talk soon. Bye.